Hi and welcome to the full moon of March 2020. I am drawn to do a reading today with a new deck for me, Whispers of the Ocean by Angela Hartfield, particularly because I had a bit of a vision last night of my Mer heritage, and so it seemed quite apt to bring these cards out to play today. And I wanted to do a full moon reading to ask certain questions. I've made a note of the questions I want to ask, just to give us an idea of where we stand now. The first one, what have we been learning through this current moon cycle? It's been quite a hard one, especially with, I think, with Mercury retrograde as well, and the Uranus has been playing tricks on a lot of signs, and it's been quite intense. I'll also be asking what is completing today, or within the next few days, or the few days before this full moon. It depends. It all cycles around a few days rather than being exact. And then what are we now asked to let go of or allowed to fade from our lives? And that will really be the next couple of weeks as we're going through to the new moon, what we're allowing to fade away. So let's just make a start by shuffling the cards. I just want to say I hope you're all well and you're getting through the intensity of this last month intact. There's been an awful lot of learning, a lot of light coming in, which is why the challenges have seemed so great a lot of the time. Often when our light quota is being upped for us to go to another dimension, it sort of stirs the pot of everything that needs to be integrated so that you can move up a level. So there is some good news within all the rubbish that's been going on, but you sort of have to see the bigger picture of the whole. Anyway, I'd just like to ask these cards to share their wisdom and guidance with us today, in unconditional love and for the highest good of all. So the first question, what have we been learning through this current moon cycle? What has been the main learning for everybody? Okay, that life is better together. Okay, lovely card that. I'll show you them all in more detail as I read from them. So the second card, what is completing today or over the next couple of days, or has just completed in our lives? Changing direction with ease. Okay, we'll look at that in more detail too. I don't know these cards very well yet, so I'm sort of learning them as I do the reading with you. So if there's something that doesn't quite click and it doesn't come through very clearly, then I might just take the opportunity of just checking out a little bit in the book, because the book has some really interesting details about each of the species, which I find learning about that actually helps the message click for me more than anything else. So knowing a little bit about the species really shows me what the card is saying. So the last card, what are we now asked to let go of between now and the new moon? What are we asked to allow to fade from our lives? And we get the dolphin dancing in the rainbow. Okay. You might notice that when I I don't do the cards like a lot of other people. My best way is to shuffle and then cut the deck and go to the card that I cut to. You might notice that my hand shakes, and that's just the energy coming through. Some days it doesn't shake and other days it really shakes. So I think it just depends on who I've got coming through to help me, and how strong that energy is. Okay, so let's start here. Beautiful card. Life is better together. So this has been the lesson of this moon cycle, and probably the full moon cycle from new moon to new moon. This lesson will cover. On the card itself, it says, seek assistance from your community. Connect with family, friends, or others who will support you. It can be as simple as making a phone call. This rings really true for me and what I've been going through. It also follows the relationship theme that has been going on through March. You can see as well that community, so it's not just about romantic relationship, although that has been a heavy theme for a lot of people. It's about the communities around us and how we see that community as something that we can support and they can support us. So the whole, we're seeing the whole in that community. We are not just one individual on our own. Although there are many things we have to do on our own, we can get the support of our network around us. And you know, some of us that work in the light, and I'll bring these back here a bit. I notice you can't really see them, can you? I'll put them that way around. Don't know if it helps. Some of us, quite a lot of us that work with the light as healers, as readers, struggle to really go out into a community physically, because we find the energies of other people quite hard to tolerate, and some days are easier than others, but on the whole we tend to be introverted souls, which is fine. We need to know when we need that alone time. I am being joined by my cat, excuse him, thank you. We need to know and recognise when we need that alone time. It's really important for us to recharge our batteries. But we also need to know when to reach out, when we really need the help of community. You know, and you all hopefully have people, trusted friends or family or both, that in times of need you can ask for support from. I know I have, and I'm really grateful for those people, and they know who they are. But if you haven't got those, and not everybody does, some people lead quite a lonely existence. If you haven't got those and you find it really hard to cultivate those people in your life, then, you know, there are people like me who are willing to talk, willing for you to message us, just for somebody to contact and to say hi to, and just to know that somebody's there, somebody's on your side, somebody can offer you a little bit of support, even if we're miles away, when you need it. So please don't forget that. The whole community of light workers, starseeds, we're all here to offer ourselves in service to others. That doesn't mean that we don't respect our own boundaries and don't look after ourselves too, but our whole mission is in service to others. So if you're in need, then go to one of us, please. The second card. So we know we're in a state where life is better together. We're learning that life is better together. And that's happening on the world stage as well. People are beginning to realise that the old systems aren't working. We need different, more compassionate systems that see us as one race, one being, one family, rather than all these individual groups. So that's happening on all levels at the moment. The next card, what's completing today? So this is really relevant for what this full moon, this known as the worm moon, I think, in Native American. And it's a super moon as well. So what's completing? What are we finishing off today? So this card, change direction with ease. This is a time for change, shape-shifting, or your soul's evolution. It's a time to reconsider what you are wanting. You may be in for a surprise. So this really resonates with me as well. With all the light and the codes that have been coming in recently, there's been a lot of change and upheaval. And I've had to really consider, and I know a lot of other people have had to really consider what it is that they want going forward. So it's a case of looking at what isn't working anymore, what we need to change. Now, it might be that as you think about that, you know what needs to change, but you can't see how that change can happen right now. And then, you know, these things happen, they take their time, because as we learn that we need to change something, then we need time to integrate that learning. We need time for then the universe to pick up on that and to send us the clues for how we go forward from here. But the important thing is, if we don't recognize that we do need to make a change on some level, then the system is going to keep giving us all the rubbish, keep throwing up all the rubbish until we do see that change is needed. And this really is about our soul's evolution and a shape-shifting, because the codes that are coming in are really ramping up, and we are moving to 5th, 6th, 7th dimensional beings. The whole earth is moving towards the 5th dimension, and it's hard work. We are here to do it together, as this card indicates, and it is hard work. So recognizing that something in our life is stale, and then saying, okay, that needs to change, and I might not see how that needs to change now, but it does need to change. That recognition in itself is soul evolution. Okay, it's not the change actually happening as such, it's more the recognition of what needs to happen. So be aware today of where you're recognizing change is needed, or even for you, if you've already recognized that, where you know, the solutions that are coming up for you of how you can move forward now, how this change can actually manifest in your life. Okay, and you may be in for a surprise. Who knows what that is? Let's all wait and see. It'd be great if you let me know what surprise you get. Maybe a good one. So the last card, what are we now asked to let go of or allow to fade from our lives? So dancing in the rainbow, break free from whatever you feel is holding you back. Express happiness and find out what you truly desire. So that really is moving on from this one of change. And it's saying the way to find the solution for your change is to let go, let fade away everything that you don't want anymore. Don't hang on to it. If you don't want something, if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't make you feel good, if it doesn't fill you with joy, don't grab onto it. Let it go. And this doesn't have to mean, you know, this might be something in your physical realm, but often it's more likely to be a mental process that you run, or a habit you have of reacting to certain circumstances, or an emotion that you have that makes you see the world in a certain way, or other people in a certain way. So really be aware of what it is that you're doing, that you're perceiving, that you are bringing into your own matrix, that you're attracting in. be aware. And everything that comes up, ask yourself, does this feel good? Do I really want this to carry on? And if it doesn't, then you say, right, okay, this is part of the change. This is part of this card. This bit needs to change. It needs to be let go of. I don't know what to replace it with. That's okay. If you sit with it and thank it, or if it's a person or a situation, say thank you. Thank you for coming up. And really, really appreciate the fact that you came up and showed me this, because this is something that's been holding me back. This is something that I can't progress forward with until it's gone. I have to let go of it. It has to fade out of my life. And by doing the recognition, by saying thank you, by forgiving yourself and others for having or being part of this, whatever it is, all these things help you to clear the energy. They help you to speed up the solution, speed up the change, and speed up the new awareness of where you're going from here. And many people are in this are in this zone at the moment where they know, they can feel inside them this intensity to move forward in some way, but they can't see how to do it, and they can't even see what that thing is that they need to move into. And I feel it too, you know, it's here, but we have to trust that that feeling is what's speeding us up. It's taking us forward. Without that feeling, that's the momentum, that's the motivation. We have to trust that because that energy's there, it's helping us to do all of these things. It's helping us to see that life is better if we're part of a community. Even though we need to pull away from that at times, life is better if we have friends. It's helping us to see that change is needed. Okay, it's pushing for that change. It's pushing against all your resistance, which is why you feel so frustrated. It's churning up all the mud and throwing it to the surface so you can see what needs to change. And it's helping us to break free from a cycle that has been long overdue to be completed. And this cycle has done us some good. It's not that it's all been bad, but now for us to move on, for us to move to the next dimension, we really need to clear this, because it's holding us back from much, much, much better things. Okay, look at that card. That's what we're being held back from. Rainbows, dolphins, play, joy. You know, breaking free from the heaviness, being lighter. Just that bliss of being alive. That's what we need in our life, and that's what we'll get if we just allow things to fall away that aren't resonating anymore. And while they're falling away, remember, you have the support of your community around you. You are better together. If a relationship hasn't been going well, you are actually better together. It's just that it needs to change on some level. It doesn't mean it needs throwing away. There are lessons for both partners to learn and things for both to change. But you're better together. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. I don't know if you've noticed on the page, I am running my Oracle card reading course again in April. A few of you have been on it in the past. It's been really successful. I'm hoping this time around to make some little videos to go with each section, which might be quite fun. Especially certain sections, I think it will be quite helpful to use as a bit like a guided meditation. If you would like to join, please reserve your space, and I will be sending out information about paying for the